Hey everyone, Elliot here from Lunark Studios, and today I'm going to provide you with another Prismata update. The last 2 weeks have been totally insane. So many phone calls, and Skype calls, and chats with marketing and PR folks, Twitch content creators, all trying to get everything put together for the launch. Everybody's really excited. The content creators are really excited to play the game. And things are going well. Everybody's been asking me about the launch date. Internally, we do have a date. It has moved several times. That happens. But why delay? Well, for us, the biggest priority right now is just getting that launch team in place, the PR, the marketing and promotion, the influencer outreach, as well as preparing all the launch materials to make sure that we are going to make the biggest splash possible when we enter Steam. We have had a number of setbacks. We had setbacks trying to find the right contractors for the job. Some people we really wanted to work with just couldn't be with us for this project. But we do have now a sort of marketing and promotion team in place. They're people outside Lunark. We're a bunch of programmers and a few artists. I've never published a game on Steam before, right? So this is a challenge, and this is something new and different that we haven't done before. And we're trying to make sure we get it right, and talking to the right people and making sure everything gets done. We have had some setbacks with our launch materials. We recorded a bunch of footage for the trailer and we found that it had some problems. There were some graphical issues in the game that we figured, we really ought to fix these things before we put out a shiny trailer. And in particular, we found that some of the reception that our footage was getting was, people thought it was too overwhelming. They thought the game was too fast. They didn't understand things like the resources. And so we've made a few tweaks to things like animation speeds that we felt were actually really important for the trailer, and also just for the gameplay, for when content creators are sort of streaming or doing YouTube videos of the game for an audience that is not used to Prismata. People that have not played Prismata have a difficult time watching the game, and improving that has been a priority for a long time. But we've still seen that there are some issues that need correcting there, and so we have spent that time. A lot of the first week of January, we're kind of looking into that stuff. So that's kind of why the sort of small-ish setbacks, a day or two here, a day or two there, have occurred. And that's sort of where we're at. Let me switch over here. I have sort of an agenda laid out for this set of updates. I have a number of small announcements. That was sort of the introduction. So let me actually talk about the launch date. We do have a launch window in mind. The launch window we have in mind is somewhere in the middle of February. Now, this is an estimate. It may be delayed. Don't book time off work to play Prismata for the launch yet. Don't do that yet. We will announce a date, probably about 2 weeks, when we're 100% sure. The reason this is our launch window is honestly because our PR team has told us, give us more time. We need more time. And, all of the Twitch influencers and content creators that I've been talking to, they've said that this is generally a good time for them. February is practically a dead month. There's not that much else coming out. I think there's a Civilization expansion coming out February 8th, the new Age of Empires February 20th, that remaster. And maybe some Gwent things. The one that we're really looking at is Artifact, which is the new sort of Hearthstone clone by Valve that's set in the Dota universe. And we do not have any clue when that's coming out, but we suspect it's end of February or March. But from everybody we talked to, this is a good time. Now, there is a Steam sale in there somewhere. They're doing a Lunar New Year sale, which I don't think they've done before, so we may have to work around that. But otherwise, this is kind of the planned window, and we don't want to delay a lot because we don't want to run into Artifact. So this is it's unlikely to get pushed back a lot. This is it. Now, what's the next part? Yes, rambling. I wanted to sort of give a bit more insight as to why we're taking the approach we are with our launch. People say, why don't you just pick a date, announce it, and stick to it? And the answer is, I'm scared. I've been working on Prismata for 3/4 of a decade. We started this project in 2010. and I don't want to fuck it up. That's it. You know, the gameplay, the sound, the campaign, the trailer, the PR materials, like I really want all that stuff to be good, and I really want to take my time and to have the team, you know, have a chance to get things just perfect. And you know, if we need to iterate a little more on something or fix something up, then taking the time to do that has been the choice that we've made. You know, and here's a viewpoint that as alpha players, it may be hard to understand, but I always think of it as like 99% of the Prismata players haven't even heard of the game yet. You know, and I feel a really strong responsibility toward that 99% to maximize the chance that they hear about the game and that they have a good experience when they try it. Even though, you know, the 1% current players, they would really just love for us to launch the game right now. You know, the priority is having a good launch. And what drives me as a game developer, you know, I don't care about like making a lot of money or being highly regarded or famous or anything like that. I am driven by those memories of the first year when I started playing Prismata back in 2010, where it was just a hobby project between me and a bunch of friends, and how like absolutely engrossed I was in this idea of sort of like a turn-based RTS simulation type game where I could plan out build orders and respond to what my opponent was doing. I used to have notebooks when I was in school, and I would just jot down build orders in the margins, you know, because I couldn't stop thinking about the game even though I was in class. Like I was so captivated by that experience and so excited by this, you know, new type of game that up until then hadn't existed. And you know, when we decided to drop out of school and start working on this project full time, it was because I genuinely feared that if we didn't make this game, nobody was ever going to make it. Because there are so many market realities that make Prismata a difficult sell. Like, it's not a pay-to-win game, right? Like, we can't sell card packs. We tried a version of the game where you build decks. It just didn't work. It wasn't fun. And releasing a game like Prismata that isn't pay to win is a risky business decision in sort of the modern market, right? Like Hearthstone came out and then there were a million Hearthstone clones and they're all the same business model. You know, buy packs, build a deck, pay to win, right? We're not doing that. And that's like, you know, not only are we developing a new game, we're like having to work within a new type of business model that's sort of different. And the reason we're doing it that way is because I want people to have this genuinely amazing experience. And I think that video games, you know, as an art form, they're of tremendous importance, you know, to society, to everyone. And I'm not talking about like, you know, social things or making friends, although those things are valuable. And I know a lot of people who've made great friends through Prismata. I'm talking about how, like, you know, there's been a lot of research that shows that kids do better in school when they play games that teach them to try hard and think analytically and be motivated by the desire to improve. And, you know, that's a big part of my personality and who I am, but games like Prismata have sort of made me into that type of person, and I really want to share that as wide and as far as possible with as many people as I can. And, like, I want this launch to be big because I want people to realize that Prismata is a good game, right? You know, and I'm not trying to be all self-absorbed and, you know, woohoo, Prismata is great. I mean, I have nothing but the most confidence in the quality of Prismata as a product, but I just really want to get it out there because there are plenty of great products that nobody cares about. And, you know, I'm a person that cares a lot about the product, and I've been forced into a position where I also now have to care about getting the word out there, and that's sort of not my comfort zone. You know, my comfort zone is making Prismata a great game. But anyways, that is the rambling. Let me talk about the next item, which is I am starting up a new YouTube/Twitch show. It will be called Prismata News and Game Dev Insights, or something like that. If you have a better title, please suggest it. There will be regular YouTube content. We're going to cross-post it to the blog. We're going to do all kinds of Q&A and fun stuff. The first episode will be... well, Well, I'm going to start a Twitch stream at about 8 p.m. on Wednesday, probably play the event for an hour and just kind of hang out a bit, and then probably an hour later at 9 we will start recording, and it'll sort of be like this where I'm just talking into the camera, except there will be a Twitch chat as well, and I will answer questions as they come up. Afterwards we'll do live Q&A. The first topic is we're going to talk about Steam Early Access. Talk about, the process of getting Prismata ready for Steam Early Access and how we decided that Steam Early Access was what we wanted to do rather than just releasing the game outright. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm going to do another episode this weekend on our community. That should be good too. So I think it'll probably end up being about twice a week. Maybe we'll do a few extras in there with the launch week. Everything's going to be crazy and hyped up, and I want to talk about this game as much as possible. But it will be at least twice a week for now, and probably weekly at some point. Rather than doing a lot of blogging, which in the past consumed so much of my time, I just want to get on a microphone and talk to people. And I think that's a form of content and interaction that is more reasonable for me in terms of the time commitment, but also provides a lot of value to the people who want to ask me questions and sort of learn a bit more about the game development process behind Prismata. And the last item on my list for today is we now have a Discord. Well, we actually had it for a while, but we're starting to publicly advertise it. So you go to discord.gg/Prismata and you can join. We have a secret alpha player group, which basically the day before launch, anybody who's in that Discord, I'm just going to add them all to it. And then after launch, too bad. So if you want in our secret alpha player group, you should join the Discord. And I'm in there. We have a little, post questions for dev area in there that I will try to answer, or maybe some of them will get answered on this sort of new YouTube/Twitch show that we're doing. But yeah, that's there. And that's everything for today's update. I apologize that we're not launching the game this week. We had kind of planned on it. I'd say maybe a month and a half ago, we thought this week would be a good week. And if everything was ready, it would be a good week. But our PR team is saying, give us more time, give us more time. Your launch will be better if you give us more time. And we're saying, okay, I have faith. If they want more time, we'll give them more time. Otherwise, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow at that new show, which I'm hosting on Twitch. If you come, you can ask me questions, and if not, it will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards, and you can watch it just like this video. Until then, see you later.